Julianna Goldman joins us from Greenville, South Carolina, where the CBS News Republican presidential debate will be held Saturday. A lot riding on this for a pack of Republican candidates who didn't win Iowa, who didn't win New Hampshire, and who are going into South Carolina, maybe feeling the pressure this time around. So why is Donald Trump not in South Carolina, Julianna?
Well, Contessa, I mean, you have to look at this race right now sort of in two lanes. You've got Donald Trump versus Ted Cruz, and then you've got John Kasich, Jeb Bush, and Marco Rubio battling for the establishment. So Donald Trump, I mean, he's tried this before, and we saw in New Hampshire, he didn't spend the whole period between Iowa and New Hampshire just stumping on the ground there. Donald Trump is looking ahead to Super Tuesday states on March 1st, knowing that, you know, it worked for him in New Hampshire. He didn't have to spend the whole amount of time there. And again, whoever comes out strong from South Carolina heads into those crucial Super Tuesday states with the wind at their backs.
When we're looking at the makeup of South Carolina voters, a lot of focus has been put on the fact that on the Republican side, these are evangelical voters, conservative. They may have more of that Tea Party fervor that brought Ted Cruz to power. So to what do political insiders attribute Donald Trump's success in the polls here?
Well, one thing you have to keep in mind here is that the evangelical voting bloc in South Carolina is not the same as the evangelical voting bloc in Iowa. It's not as monolithic as you saw in Iowa, which is how Ted Cruz, one of the reasons why Ted Cruz was so successful there. But one of the things that you're seeing with Donald Trump here in South Carolina is slowly but surely beginning to appreciate some of the more traditional ways of campaigning, and that is retail politics, and that's making sure that you have a decent ground game, because that could make the difference with a few percentage points. So while Ted Cruz, he has an army here of some 90, I think it's 9,800, upwards of 10,000 volunteers. They're paying for volunteer housing here. They call it Camp Cruz. Donald Trump, he's got a field office right here in Greenville, South Carolina. We were in there yesterday. People were stopping by, picking up yard signs. He's sending out emails to supporters, asking for them to knock on doors, make phone calls, volunteer, because with the Republican race so fractured right now, even a few percentage points, even 1 percentage point can make the difference. And if you have the top field operation and get out the vote effort, that's going to give you about 2 to 3 percentage points.
Julianna, let's talk about Jeb Bush a little bit here. He has his brother, the former president, out campaigning for him in South Carolina, running radio ads there using the former president. This has been called the kill state for the Bushes. It was crucial for George H.W. Bush. It was crucial for George W. Bush. Is it crucial for Jeb?
Yeah, it's certainly crucial for Jeb. And that's one of the things, you call it the kill state, but this is a state known for rough and tumble politics. And all the signals coming from the Bush campaign is that they are not going to fade without a fight. They know that they also have to come out swinging for the donors who prior to Tuesday night, they had been getting ready for essentially a mass exodus, going to whoever the establishment candidate was looking like it was going to be. I talked to one Bush donor yesterday who said it looks like that exodus has been halted for now, but the Bush campaign knows that they need to come out looking pretty strong from South Carolina to continue into the Super Tuesday states.
All right, so ahead of the debate on Saturday, it looks like Marco Rubio has a lot riding on this. He's feeling the pressure after a poor debate performance, a poor moment where Chris Christie got the better of him. Here's what he said about how he might approach this when he was talking to Major Garrett. Let me play it.
I knew Christie would attack me, and the decision I made was I'm not going to attack him back, because I don't want to be involved in a bloody knife fight between Republicans arguing on a stage.
Is one of the lessons that you need to bring more knives?
No, I think one of the lessons is you can try to pivot back to message, but sometimes you're just going to have to deal with what they're throwing at you. You don't have to start it, but if someone starts it, you're going to have to finish it.
How much is riding on the debate Saturday night?
Well, a lot is riding on the debate Saturday night, Contessa. I heard from one South Carolinian yesterday who said, look, politics is local here. Voters, they've been aware of what's been happening in Iowa. They've been aware of what's been happening in New Hampshire. But with the Republican candidates descending upon South Carolina, they are going to really start paying attention now. And you heard from Marco Rubio, him saying and signaling that they were going to start a new, more aggressive phase of his campaign. You're going to be hearing more combative tones from all the Republican candidates. The chairman of the South Carolina Republican Party, I saw him quoted in the Washington Post saying, look, in New Hampshire and Iowa, voters want the candidates to come and sit down on their sofas. They want to shake their hands at the diners. But here in South Carolina, voters want to know how you're able to take a punch.
Julianna, thank you.